hold space for yourself and make a U-turn if possible. You don't have to settle. You don't have to stay there. And then when you get to your destination, and even on your way to your destination, just tell yourself, I'm proud of you. And just encourage yourself to keep going. I think self-love is critical.
Hey, I'm Ronja Sakata, founder of the Joy Academy and Queen of Joy. That's how my friends call me. It's so important to me that my life is full of joy and that I enjoy every moment because I know how fast it could be over. We can do so many things to bring joy in our lives, to create joy, and that's what this podcast is all about. I talk with people and they tell me how they bring joy to their everyday life and how they create a life full of joy. So let's dive right in, and please tell me after the episode what your takeaway is from this talk. Welcome, Dr. Lulu, to the Let's Create Joy podcast. I'm so happy to finally talk to you in person on Zoom. How are you? Who are you? What do you do? And how do you create joy in your everyday life? And what brings you joy? That's, as always, my starting point. And then we'll have the honor to get to know you and your life and your 1,000 talents you have. I'm so excited that you are here.
Well, I mean, my name is Dr. Lulu. I think it's, I was watching, I think it was 2 weeks ago when Larry King died. Do you know Larry King? And I was watching a couple of, things about him. And one of the things I learned that he always told people is always ask short, crisp questions. But because I have a podcast, I was like, oh my God, I need to learn that, to just keep the questions short and crisp. And then people don't have to say, well, what did you say? And then they get lost. So this is good. Who are you is short. What do you do is short. So that's good. And so my first name is Uche and my last name is Ume, but I do go by Dr. Lulu. My online persona is Dr. Lulu, the momatrician, because I'm a mom and I'm a pediatrician. And so I put the two words together. So the momatrician is, both of them are trademarks. I am Nigerian by birth, but currently I reside in San Antonio, Texas, which I like to call North Mexico. I am a pediatrician by profession, but in July of this year, I'll be retiring from medicine after 30 years, and then I'll be fully a coach. But in my spare time, I also write and edit and have a podcast, a blog, and just like everybody else in today's world.
Not everybody else, but you and me, yes.
Oh, yeah, actually, a lot of people. I think I'm new in the blog space. I'm new in the podcast space. It's something that's been going on for years. I'm just new in it. I've been fiercely practicing medicine for about 27, 28 years. It was just medicine, nothing else. And so it's just in the last 2 years that I'm trying to pivot and trying to rebrand and just trying to find a comfortable sweet spot. So I think the beautiful thing about human beings, which we don't always realize, is that your brain is capable of doing a whole lot more than you think. And so settling is for who? You don't have to settle. If you don't like it, just change it. If you don't like it, just do something else and have fun doing it, and have fun doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days. You're not going to have a toothache. You're not going to have a headache. But have fun means you're being true to yourself. You believe in what you're doing, and you bring self-doubt along and bring fear along because they are going to be there anyway. So just acknowledge them and just keep going. That's, for me, having fun about it. It doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days. Like if I had a client that I was coaching and then she just did not want to do the work. She didn't. And so I asked her, I said, will you do the work? She said, no. I said, okay, then take your money back. I don't want your money, because if you're not going to do the work, then I'm not going to feel fulfilled as a coach. So I think having fun means being able to say, I don't want to do it anymore, and it's okay.
Do what brings your heart to sing or dance. That's just
so cool. And then it's easy, or it can feel more and more easy. I think starting something new can feel hard sometimes, but then when it's in a flow, it's like, oh, okay, let's
Yeah, and I think
cruise.
a lot of people have fear of failure, but I think the bigger fear is the fear of success. A lot of people, they don't want to start because I don't want to fail. But then once they start, they are like, oh my God, what if I do very well? What am I, what's going to happen? Like, how do I sustain my success? And what if, oh my God? And then the fear of success, or what they call success intolerance, takes place. And then they don't innovate anymore. They don't.
And what's your advice or your trick to, did you experience that yourself? Because you are now like the racing star
No, I don't
in the
think.
new
I don't
field.
know that. No, I don't think I've experienced. I think if anything at all, in my whole life, the only thing that ever scared me was not being a doctor. It was being a mother. I think for me personally, I was very happy to have my child, but I was like, oh my God, this child is mine. What if I do I know what I'm gonna do? And then as they've grown and they've morphed, and those are my babies, they are my mouse pad, so they're always with me. But I just and
Not babies anymore, like
not
gorgeous
babies.
men. Wow.
But I think that is the one thing that has scared me, both for failure and for success. Like, okay, so now my son is the other one is in graduate school, the oldest one is in graduate school. Oh my God, they're gonna be they're grown, they're a man, and that's it. And did I do a good job? Or I think I did a good job, or maybe I didn't do a good. So I think for me, motherhood has been the quintessential challenge of all time. And also, I think being a mother has given me the most freedom to just raise my kids to just be empowered and love themselves and love women and challenge me. And my baby, he challenges me. Like, Mom, wait, I don't want to do it that way. And I'm like, okay, but how do you want to do it? And he's like, okay, great. So remember, if you fail, it's like, Mom, I'm not gonna fail. This is the kind of because you don't want a child that's like, yes, mommy, yes, this is not, they're not using their brain. So I think for me, being a mother is the ultimate challenge of all time, but also it's the best joy and reward when you look at your work and you see that it's good. And I think the Christians, in the Bible, in the beginning of the Bible, when God created the earth, they said that in the Bible, they said, and he looked at the earth and he saw that it was good. And I think goodness is something that we are born with goodness, but then we are the ones that bring in the judgment and bring in the negativity and the bad. But he said it was good. So you are good and I am good, right? But then all of a sudden, I start seeing myself as not good. And then I start reflecting that in you. And I say, well, you're not good because I don't think I'm good. And then we start seeing bad. And so I love that I've gotten older and I'm 52 next month. So I'm very happy that I am seeing that the sky is literally the beginning.
Not the limit.
Think about it. If you can just think it, you can be it. But then what we do is we think it and then, yeah, but what if I don't? And then you start doubting yourself. And
But
that's why,
in your business or in all your projects, you don't have, you said motherhood is your challenge. And in your business, you're confident all the time. And if yes, what's the secret? What's the secret? Give it to me.
there's no secret. It's my idea. That's why I'm confident because it's my idea. See, if you tell me what to do, I might say, well, I don't know. Does she have my best intention at heart? Why is she telling me to do that? But it's my idea. I thought about it. It's good. So the only thing
That's such a golden nugget you just like gifted to all the listeners. Like, if you have an idea, trust your idea and trust your feeling and say it's good.
And just say to yourself, it's good. It does help that I also listen to the I am affirmations on YouTube. I am worthy. I am courageous. I am just able to do whatever I want to do. I am the universe is going to give me what I need and all of these things. So if it's my idea, the only thing I'm scared of is God gave me the kids. Will I do a good job of it? Will I make him proud of the kids? Because it's not my idea. But even though my marriage failed, it was my idea to get married. So even though the marriage failed, it was my idea. And so I went in full throttle. And it's not working out. Get out. You don't have to stay. And so I think I don't know where that was coming from, but I just know that just trust yourself and then tell yourself, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your failure. I'm proud of your success. Girl, you got this. Tell yourself that. Because if you can't tell yourself you got this, nobody's going to tell you you got this.
Did you have this confidence all the way, like during your doctor's life?
Yes, I was born like this. Like literally, you can ask anybody who knows me. I come out swinging, like I literally come out swinging, ready to just take where is it? Where's the party? Because when I was younger, I was bullied in the elementary school bus. And I was bullied because I was sassy. I was bullied because I was smart. I was bullied because I was saying, you know what? You're ugly. You have to believe in yourself and see the light in you. And then you can reflect it on other people. I went to high school. I was the same thing. I was in debate club. I was in the Girl Scouts. I was on the track as an athlete. I have the long jump record in my high school, unbroken. That was 36 years ago.
Woohoo! That's so cool.
Yeah, because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to give it my best or go home, go big or go home. So, and it's not, and some people who have low self-esteem, they see like, oh my God, yes, I am proud because I am God's creation. And God said, I am good. So I wake up in the morning feeling this way. That's it. And I go to bed like this. And then my kids are like, Mom. I said, guys, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, but life is a lot easier without a ton of self-doubt pushing you down. But when you do coaching, like not everybody is coming out like ready to.
Not everybody's my client, and that's okay. And I'm not looking for the clients that are like me. I'm looking for the clients that want the transformation. It's two different things. One of my best clients that paid me a lot of money is the most quiet and reserved woman.
And what do you teach her, or how do you work with her without like scaring her? Like,
that's what I'm saying, that she is willing to be transformed. I was a lieutenant colonel and a commander in the US Air Force. So I don't come here to pet you. You go home. I don't have time for that. You can't be successful if you're doubting yourself all the way. And so if you're not ready, you go and come back when you're ready.
So you take another coach for building up your self-esteem, and then you can come to Dr. Lulu.
Yeah, I'm a motivational coach. I'm not a self-esteem coach. But you know what? The motivation is already within you. I'm not giving it to you. You have it. Everybody has it. But not everybody's ready to embrace it, and that's okay. I'm not a self-esteem coach. You will never see me, you see me say motivation and mindset. That's me. But I'm not a self-esteem coach. But self-esteem comes with that. It's a given. But you have to.
It's so important, I think, to choose the right coach for the right situation. And then if it matches, it's like boom, that the transformation can be really quick. You don't need years and years to work with you for having an explosion of realizations, because it's all in us, right? So if
I think it's also not therapy. And I think what I'm hearing you say is you don't need years and years of coaching.
yeah,
Coaching is therapy.
if it's
Therapy.
matching it, that's what I love about coaching. It's like boom,
Um,
and then
yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. I think a lot of people think coaching is therapy. And I'm going back there because people think that, but I'm not a therapist. Coaching is not therapy. Coaching is about the possibilities. That's it. It's about moving forward. Therapy is about going to the past and figure out what happened. Again, so if this, and consulting is me coming to tell you what to do. Mentoring is me saying, this is what I did. So each one is different. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a mentor, and I'm not a consultant in that regard. As a pediatrician, I am a consultant. You come and see me, you tell me you have a headache, a fever, I do a strep test, you have strep, I give you the medicine, I tell you what to do. That's a consultant. For my sister, I'm a mentor. I say, you know what? This is what I did. This is how I did it. For coaching, I want to ask you, what do you want to do? And how do you think you will get there? And then I will hold space for you and I'll hold you accountable. It's all different. And once you know the difference, it's like magic. So people sometimes think one thing or the other. I don't think anybody can be coached and anybody cannot be coached. Naturally, there are personality differences. That's a given. Your five fingers are not equal. So there are personality differences. I am like my father. My father is a retired two-star general in the Air Force. I am his daughter. I'm proud, but I'm also my mother's daughter. My mother was a firefighter during the civil war in Nigeria. I have her heart. So I have each of them when I need to. I have no apologies, but if you're not my father's child, I don't expect you to act like me. You know what I mean? Like each of us are unique and there's only one of us, one copy, one original, not copy, one original, no copies. And so I don't expect my clients to be like me. No, but I want my clients to want the transformation. That's all I need. I don't need a personality. Listen, if you're not ready for transformation, then you're not ready for coaching. Maybe you need therapy. And I had a client that I told, I said, I think we need to start with therapy first because she has a lot of baggage to deal with first. And if you're shackled by baggage, you can't move forward. Coaching is about moving forward. You see the difference now? So as a physician, I would say, you know what, ma'am, I think we should probably hold off on coaching for a little bit. Let's get you to see a therapist and let's get you to take care of all of this that's pulling you back. And then you come back and we're ready to swing. I used to teach kickboxing when I was a younger version of me. So I don't, yeah. So I know that even if you go to the gym, you want to lose 15 pounds, your coach is going to tell you to do 25 push-ups. If you're not ready, you're not ready. So it's the same thing. I use that analogy because a lot of people understand when it comes to losing weight. Your coach is never going to do the work for you. You will have to do the work. And that's the same thing with regular life coaching. You have to do the work. You have to do the thought work. You have to do the belief work. You have to do again, fear and self-doubt, they're a constant companion, even for Oprah, even for Joe Biden, even for Kamala Harris. But you don't see them giving in to the fear and the self-doubt. And that's where courage comes. Courage means fear plus action. That's courage. We all have that, but we're going further because we're like, I don't want to stay and linger. That's for chickens.
That's for chickens.
Mhm.
When I told you, I said before, like it has to be a match. I don't mean like it has to be the same personality, but I just have to admire you, love you, you know, like I want to learn from her, or she should challenge me. And if it's not a match, also in the gym, you have to like your trainer. Otherwise, it's like, ooh, it's not helpful.
So,
So it has to be like,
I'm glad you said that. Let me tell you the truth about a good trainer, a really good trainer. You don't like them.
but
You don't like them. And
I
why?
know what you mean. You
Yes,
get challenged and it's hard,
exactly.
but I
Exactly.
like the person. Otherwise, I can't
So,
work with a person I don't like. Like,
no, I know that. I mean, that's a given. That's a given. When I was in high school, I didn't like all my teachers. When I was in high school, I didn't like all my classmates. Sometimes I don't like my child, but I love them. So I mean, likeness is again, it's relative. But what I meant by that is when I used to learn kickboxing from I learned Taibo from Billy Blanks, and he's going for 1 hour. I hate him for that. But when I'm done, I see the difference in my body. And when I see him outside, it's like, oh, hi, coach. You like your coach when you see them outside. But during the actual process of it, you don't like because they're pushing you to the limit and beyond. And that's when you transform. Transformation means you have to change. You have to do something differently to get a different result. Otherwise, that's insanity because you're doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So that's what I meant by that. But when you see your coach outside, oh, yeah, you're like, that's my coach. Hi, coach. It's like, oh, coach, guess what? I lost 5 pounds or whatever. But when you're at the gym, like, oh my God, yeah, give me 8 more. Five, give me 5 more, give me 1 more, that kind of thing, because they know you can do it. And so I had a client once that she came for a free session and she was like, oh, I think you're tough, is what she said. And then the next week she signed up. But she said, I think you're tough. And I said, yes, I have no apologies for being tough. No, because if you don't want to think big, you go home. You go home. It's not for everyone, but the one that is for me will find me, and that's okay. The next week, she paid in full, but she said, I think you're tough. So she thought about it. Do you want someone that is tough, that's going to get you the result? Or do you want someone that's just going to say, okay? I mean, even as a mother, I use that a lot. One of my sons did not want to ride his bicycle. He was so scared of falling. But something as simple as riding a bike, it takes a lot of bravado. You have to get on that two-wheel, trust yourself that you're not going to fall. I can't get you to ride a bike. I can tell you, let's go get on it. I can coach, but you have to ride the bike. And now he goes with no hands. Once upon a time, he didn't want to go on the bike. And so we have to be cheerleaders and the wind beneath the wings, but you have to fly.
what do you do for your own wings? You know, as a coach, you give a lot of energy, you give wisdom, and you said you're born that way. And I mean, how lucky are you that you have? No, it's like it's not for free, and you got bullied, you had your challenges, but I really like to appreciate, like, oh wow, that these are my gifts and I can use them and full power on. But for your wings, you know, what makes you fly? What brings you joy in your everyday life? I'm sure you have a lot of rituals and tricks. You said the I am affirmations.
Yeah, I am
Like,
a
what
lot.
are other things you love to do, like bring you joy?
I think I am is critical. I love to read. I love to dance. Every New Year's Eve, I do like a 4 hours of dancing on Facebook. I love to dance. I love to dance. I love to go for a walk. Just the simple things. I'm walking, I'm reading. I'm that person you see me. I walk my dog. I hang out with the dog. I go to the backyard and I sit on my hammock and I just listen to the wind chimes. It's not anything. Oh my God. No, it's not a huge. I love to journal. I have tons of journals because I love journaling everywhere. Yeah, I love to write. So that's how I get my I just get that. Like I love to journal everywhere. My desk journals. So that's one thing that I love to do. I love writing. I love positive self-talk. And I was raped when I was in medical school. I was molested when I was 9. All of those things happened to me. But then more importantly, they happened for me. For me to say, what is the message that this is giving? But some people, and it's not for everybody, but some people that happened to them, but it doesn't happen for them. They're just like, oh, yeah. And they're still shackled. They're still stuck in that. So every now and again, I go back when I'm doing my meditation and I go back and I talk to my 9-year-old who was molested until I say, you see, we did okay. We did fine. And now I use the story for my TEDx talk. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm able to inspire people that, you're not alone, me too. But me too doesn't mean I'm going to stay and let the burden, because you allow, if somebody, how they say unforgiveness or hatred is like you taking poison and thinking someone else is going to die. You
Hope,
have to
hope that the other person dies and you are poisoned. Yeah.
So you taking the poison and you think somebody else is going to die. But you have to forgive yourself, is what I mean, first of all, and make peace with that. And I say that because even though those bad things happen to me, worse things happen to other people. Worse things. Like I have a friend who grew up in Romania and she went through the war. It's nothing. My was nothing. And we have stories of kids who are serially raped by their father or their reverend priest or continuously. Yeah. Mine is nothing. Nothing.
But do you compare, and that helps you? Sometimes I think it's healthy to see like the relevance, or like there are even better things, and sometimes you just have to acknowledge this is my story and I can feel this or that about this. I'm allowed to think this is very bad, and I don't have to compare it to something which is even better. Do you know what I mean?
I think self-acceptance is critical. I think I said that only because, relatively speaking, mine is not. But there's some people who didn't get any at all. So it just depends on how you want to interpret it. I don't go around comparing, but comparison is good as long as you use it for the greater good and not compare. We compare all the time. People go on social media. Oh, I have 5 likes. Somebody has 50 likes. Or I have 50,000 followers. Somebody has 5 million followers. We do that all the time, even without thinking. But rather than say, oh, negative, why don't you say, well, if she can get 5 million followers, I can get 5 million followers. Or maybe I'm only meant to get 50,000 followers. I had a video that went viral and it got like 60,000 views on Facebook. But I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it because I wanted to stay with the little boy that the policeman stopped him. And it was only 3 minutes at the most, the video. But somebody else has 1 million views, but I just want my message to get to the people that it needs to get to. So that's where the quantity versus quality, right? For me, I want quality. And so even if I have only 10 clients, like I said before, I want the right 10 clients. Or I can say, but she has 20 clients. Why did she get 20? Maybe they're not getting results. I don't know. Or maybe my 20 are coming because everyone is so different, like I said, about the 5 fingers. So I don't necessarily compare, except sometimes you need to compare. Sometimes it's also good to have someone that maybe the word is not compare, but you look up to them. Otherwise, you can't grow. So it's important for you to have the healthy awareness of this person is over there, and therefore I want to be like them, or at least I'm going to strive to try to get better. And then I was just talking to my son the other day, and he was like, he said, well, I think I might be, his big brother said that he's probably the smartest kid amongst his friends. And so I had a conversation. I said, what do you think, how does that make you feel about being possibly the smartest person amongst your friends? And he was like, well, I'm okay with it. I said, well, and I know you should be okay with it, but in the interest of growing academically, I think you should also have a couple of friends who are smarter than you so you can at least aspire to be like them. And he was like, well, I do that in basketball. I was like, I'm sure you do. He's like, yeah, in basketball, yeah, I have a couple of people that I really want to be. I said, I want you to do that like that in everything. Always have somebody who is 2 or 3 steps ahead of you so you can aspire to be like, so you can grow. Otherwise, you get stunted. And then that's not good, you know?
Like
So
if
I
you
don't
are
even
the
know what.
smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I like this saying.
Well, yeah, you are in the wrong room. You are in the wrong room. And but there's a lot to be said about acknowledging that you have knowledge and imparting it, which is what coaching does, right? It helps you impart the knowledge on someone else who is maybe one step behind you. And then knowing that they're your prodigy, tomorrow when they soar to the skies, like Oprah and Phil Donahue, she always talks about how he was her mentor. But today, Oprah is like untouchable. But she probably believed first that she could be untouchable. She could have never gotten there by saying, I don't know if I can do it. Oh, Lord. Yeah. She must have said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's
I
try it. And
just
then
do
be
it.
willing to
I mean,
fail.
she's so authentically herself. I love that. Like I'm just doing it my way from the fullest of my heart, and everything will work out. Like pam
And be
pam
ready.
pam. It's so cool. As you
And be
say,
ready to
you're
fail.
unique, one of a kind. Just do it your way, and yes, and grow and get pulled up from the people you admire.
And be willing to fail also, because a lot of people, when they fail, they look at failure as, oh my God. But failure should be, okay, what do we do? What do we do differently? What worked? What didn't work? And what do we do differently? And okay, how soon can we start? So we can keep moving. Like my GPS in my car says, make a U-turn if possible. That is one of the most important things ever. And that's from the GPS of my car. That's not even a human being. But the GPS says, make a U turn if possible. And if you don't make a U turn, you know what the GPS says? Recalculating. And then she says, okay, make a left or right, because she, which is a car, knows that, well, a U turn was not possible. So what does she do? She says, recalculating. I love that. I mean, that's just so powerful. And we don't want to recalculate. We don't make a U-turn. You know what we do? We stop.
And we say, well, it doesn't work out. So yeah, I failed. Do you know Abraham Hicks? Do you listen to Abraham Hicks on YouTube?
No, but I listen to Les Brown.
Yes,
That's
but
my boy.
I love the analogy that it's so suitable for your GPS admiration. They say if you want to go to San Diego from somewhere, I don't know geographic of the US.
I live in San Antonio.
You want to go somewhere and you put it into the GPS, you don't doubt that you will be there. In the middle, you'd say, no, I didn't find it yet. You are on your way. So I like this GPS whole thing. Here I am, I want to go there. And while I'm driving, I just trust the process and I'm going and failing maybe and U-turning and whatever. But
yeah.
I
And
want to go
the
there.
beauty of that is in coaching, again, which is about moving forward, about the possibilities, right? In coaching, the most important part of coaching is visualizing the destination. And that's the same thing you said. I love San Diego. When I was 7 months pregnant with my first child, I promised myself that I was going to retire in San Diego. So it's funny that you said that. One of the examples I give my coaching clients is you have to have clarity of purpose. Like you said, I want to go to San Diego, not I want to travel. They're two different things. And so I want to travel is vague. And then universe is like, where do you want to go? I want to go to a place where they have trees and rivers. Really? Or I want to go to the California coast, specifically San Diego. And then the GPS will literally, like a needle in the old 8-track record, take and put you where you need to go. So same thing. So I use the GPS analogy all the time about just saying, I just want to get better. No, get better at what? And then when you sit with it, and I sit with my clients, I sit And I said, take your time. Think about it. What do you want? And he was like, then go around. I said, no, come back. Focus. And then if they can't get it, no problem. Your homework is to give me 5 reasons why, or 5 reasons, or whatever, and make them force their brain to decide. And that's another thing about coaching. Coaching is about making decisions. And just decide, I want a red flask. Just decide. Don't say, God, should I get red? Should I get pink? What do I do? And then what that does is you get stuck and you can't move
What
in
do
the
you
same.
want, Dr. Lulu? What's your big fat vision? Tell me about it.
I don't know that I have any special wish right now. I think I have everything that I need right now. I
Yeah, but
really do.
like when you say where do you want to go? Like I want to retire in San Diego. That's your goal. But what is your future looking like? Like are you handshaking Oprah and taking over?
No, no. I think I mean I would like to be on Oprah. She's on my vision board, but I think I want to take it nice and slow. I'm going through a separation right now, so I want to take it nice and slow. For now, like the whole month of January, I just kind of took off of social media just to kind of be with me, and for me that is my current status is just trying to be with me. My watchword for 2021 is self-compassion, and part of self-compassion is also just kind of being okay with the word solitude, which I've never really been able to just kind of be by myself and just feel the feels and just be okay. So I think my short-term goal is just to get okay with being with me. And so my coach said to me, she said, when you come into the house, call your name. And so now when I come into the house, I said, I go Dr. Lulu when I come into my house, just to call my name to be okay. Because in the past, when I came into the house, I called my wife's name. And so she was like, well, now she's not here. So I need to get used to calling my name and being okay with me. And so for me, that's my short term goal. And hopefully, my long term, everlasting goal to always be okay with me. Um, but if it's as far as work, as far as the kids, I mean, so it just depends on what you mean by what do I want. Each it's all different things.
But
Right
when you
now,
say we say like point the needle and be clear to your clients, like your your needle at the moment is being okay with yourself. That's a needle point too for
yeah, yeah,
GPS, right?
that's because as at the 1st of January, we decided to separate on the 1st of January. So this is, to me, it's the most important thing for me right now, to just hug myself and look myself in the mirror and tell myself that I'm going to be okay, and just believe it. After nearly 10 years of a marriage, you wanna just clear your head. But my current project is another book that I'm working on. I'm publishing for immigrant women, about 25 women from 15 different countries. So that's kind of my newest baby. But otherwise, I'm just taking my time and just being okay with me, which I haven't done in a long time. So
But that's so beautiful, you know. You're like swinging it and pam pam pam, and then you're very gentle to yourself. I think this balance is so beautiful for ourselves too. If we are a coach and pushing people, it's important to be kind to yourself, and then again challenging yourself. And it's a dance again with
yes,
life.
yes, it is.
Tell us about your books, because we met in a book writing group.
Yes, yes, we sure did. So
You have written so many books, so
I think you actually said we met on my Facebook Live. I think that's what you said at the beginning. So my
no,
first
we didn't. We met in self-publishing school because of your book.
yeah. Okay, so my first book is I know the reason I was saying that is because I thought it was a Facebook Live, because my first book was actually a Facebook Live. This
Okay.
was a How to Raise Well-Rounded Children was actually a Facebook Live that I did a while back, and I just transcribed it into a book. And the second, and I did that because I was writing my first book was this one. a teen's life. But I got stuck because one of the kids in the book didn't make it. And the book is about teen struggles and depression, suicide, cutting, anorexia, all the things that teenagers go through. And one of the kids in the book didn't make it. And so I'm just going to say that much. And then when I finished writing her story, I was mourning her. And so I couldn't go any further. And so my wife said, well, you are the author, right? I said, yes. She said, yeah, so she doesn't have to. I said, no, don't tell me that. I need her to die. I need her to die because teenagers die every day of suicide. This is a real thing. I said, I need her to die. But I also need to mourn my character. She's my baby. She's mine. And so while I was doing that, while I couldn't finish that, I decided to, you know what, so I don't think myself out of it. You see, that's the thing about, because once you stop, time starts going, and then before you know it, you don't come back. You just never finish. I have a lady who I coach who took 13 years to write one book because she kept doubting. And so what I did was I went and I said, well, I gotta write a book. I gotta write a book because it was my 50th birthday. And I wanted a book as my gift for my 50th birthday. I was like, I have to be an author. That was my goal. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna transcribe one of my most watched Facebook lives was the one I said, how to raise well-rounded children. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and transcribe it. Why not? And so I went ahead and transcribed it and then made it into a book. And so that gave me and then this one was like a bestseller, instant bestseller. I said, okay, that gave me the courage to go back and finish this one. And when I had kind of gotten over the pain of losing my baby in my book, it's funny. So you get attached to your characters, even though they are fictional or fictitious or whatever. I was still attached to her. And then my third book is the one that I wrote last year during the lockdown.
That's why I
Following,
met you. Yeah.
yeah, George Floyd's death or murder rather. So this was actually a blog that went viral. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't I go ahead and make it into a book? Because somebody has suggested, that'll make a good book. I said, okay. And so right now we're working on the anthology. We have 25 women doing from 15 countries writing about their immigration story. So I'm really excited about that. That should be dropping in April.
Yeah, and I think I read your book about how to talk about racism with your child, and I think this should be on everybody's nightstand, with or without kids. Not really. I read it and it's so good, and I'm so annoyed I can't write a review because I'm not an approved
I
customer. Hello, but I still owe you this review. I already written it down. It's really and
I think Amazon wants you to maybe either you purchase X amount of dollars or you have.
But because I'm attached to Amazon Germany, I pay them a lot of money, so I don't get it. But I was I have to figure this out.
No, why? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little difficult internationally. But my book comes out soon, so I have to figure out everything, and you will get your review. So no doubt that I can manage it. Yeah, really. And your words are so beautifully. I think it's such a tough topic and wakes up so many people sleeping. But your words are so beautiful. So I love this combination, bam, 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 but in nice words. You know that English is not my first language, but the Thai, you use the Thai, this poetical way for you. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Dai. What is the word? How you express myself?
Spell it.
In the book, I think it's THY.
This one?
Yes.
Because because the book is 21 commandments.
Yes.
So I use it like the Bible. So I said, oh yeah, okay, like thou shalt, like number 4 is thou shalt find out from thy children what they already know about racism before proceeding. And then number 5 is thou shalt start to teach thy children about systemic. Yes, because I try to make it as a Bible, because it's a Christian. Sometimes you got you gotta talk to them.
Yeah, and I don't know the Bible in English, but I really like this. For me, it sounds poetical in a really tough topic. So I loved this combination. It's like gentle and then pam pam pam. You have to do this or that,
Before. Thank you so much. Nobody told me that before. I've listened. I mean, I got a lot of reviews on this book. I got the other day. I was in an event, and somebody was like, "Wait, you're Dr. Lulu?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Your book is on our company website, and it's one of the recommended books." I'm like, "Really? This is great."
Yeah.
Yes. But no one has told me what you said, that the way I wrote it in the big biblical terms, or using big biblical terminology or whatnot. Hey, I'm happy. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that.
I think words are so powerful, and sometimes, it just depends how the message enters the heart and the brain. So I didn't know that the Bible is written like that in English. I never read the Bible in
the Bible. I mean, the commandments in the Bible. The commandments.
I know poetry in English with this.
Well, for the commandments, they use thou shalt and thy and thine and thine self and things like that. I don't know. I guess it's maybe some kind of old biblical English or something.
And I think it's very British English, old. Really beautiful language style. So I really liked that, and it spoke to me. It's powerful, very powerful. So everybody should read that book if they can speak English. So yes, how to teach your children about racism. And you know what? I love the chapter with hey, try different food. What about like it's so mind-opening to, and my husband is Japanese, so like different food, yes, of course. And Switzerland is so tiny, and we have Italian and French part of Switzerland, so like that's normal for us, because our little part of Swiss German speaking, it's just, you can't drive for 2 hours and you're out of Switzerland, or maybe 4 hours.
So, my baby brother lives in Switzerland. Bern, is there a place called Bern? Bern?
Yes. Your brother?
My baby brother, yes. He lives there with his wife.
Okay.
Yeah. They live there. They are diplomats. So she works at the US Embassy. So they live there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You didn't tell me that. So cool.
I think I did. Go back on our conversations. I think I did, because they've been living there for about a year now.
Okay.
But also, they moved a year ago during the COVID. So it's not like, because if it wasn't COVID, I would have been there. I would have been there. I don't know if I knew that you lived in Switzerland. If I didn't tell you, then it's because I probably did not know you live in Switzerland. But everybody that I know in Switzerland, I tell them, because my brother lives there and I want to go badly. I want to go.
Yes, we have to meet. How cool is that?
They COVID. This is a mess.
We have to be
after COVID, I will come to visit you, because I want to, and I want to practice my French.
In Zurich, where I live, there is no French, but you can talk French, and English is like, we like to practice our English, like everybody. If they just know a little bit, they love to talk.
So I'm going to come visit. That's a given, because also I'm getting older, and I just feel like there's so much I want to do, because nobody knows tomorrow. So I'm ready. I'll come visit you.
I put on my vision board, like, our stories have all the same ending, so let's make the pages in our book worth reading. So I love that.
That is so powerful. I'm going to write that down. That is so powerful. Our stories all have the same ending. I'm going to quote you, but I'm stealing it.
No, it's not my quote. I don't know which. I will. Oh, I have to check because I printed it from an Instagram post on a picture, and I don't think I have the name of the author.
That's okay. I'll just say, I usually write unknown. I'll just write unknown because I don't know.
I think it's a general saying like our stories have all the same ending, so let's make the pages worth reading or something like that.
Well, I'm writing, so let's make the best of our pages. I like that.
And I like the image to have a book of life with my clients. I do one meditation where we go, downstairs and then in a cave, and the cave is like very glittery with gemstones, and then there is a lake, a big lake, and it's illuminated from beneath. It's really beautiful. And for people with what's the English word for, is it claustrophobic? When you are scared in closed room?
Yeah, claustrophobia.
So if you don't like closed rooms, you can open the cave's top and have the night sky there. And then there are little islands floating around, and on every island you get a boat collecting you, and then the boat drives to your island with some kind of being, like whatever, an animal, a human, whoever, and there is your book of life and all the pages already written, and then the empty pages to really feel like, and this person or being down there is just writing what's happening. If you do anything or nothing or a lot of things, it's just writing without judgment. And one client was like, my book of life had a heartbeat. They are really touched about their own book of life in this beautiful surrounding. So like, make the pages beautiful, yes, and do what you want to do. That's what, because otherwise
you're still gonna die regardless. Yeah. Sonia, I have at 10 o'clock. So I have 2 minutes to get ready for that.
So what is your message to the world? Dr. Lulu, say last message.
I think we're just going to go ahead with just the GPS theme. I mean, when you get to a roadblock, make a U-turn if possible. That's it. Just make a U-turn and just hold space for yourself and make a U-turn if possible. You don't have to settle. You don't have to stay there. And then when you get to your destination, and even on your way to your destination, just tell yourself, I'm proud of you, and just encourage yourself to keep going. I think self-love is critical. I mean, you really, truly can't love another person from a place of scarcity, even from a place of full. You can truly only love from a place of abundance. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much for your time and your energy. I came here for swinging it. I love it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. It's evening over here. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this interview as much as I did. Please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes if you liked it. Also, make sure to join my free Joy group on Facebook to discuss this episode and other Joy topics, and you can find the link to it in my show notes on joyismycompass.com/blog. If you are looking for ways to incorporate more joy into your daily life, I've got the most awesome tool for you. Head over to joyismycompass.com/UA to hire your personal universal assistant. What is that? You'll find out. Just click on the link joyismycompass.com/UA. See you in the next episode.